guard, 6'3" from Kentucky, number 5, Immanuel Quickley. And then forward, 6'7" from Duke, number 9, R.J. Barret.
Yep. IQ and RJ made their return to the Garden this weekend. You just saw it right there. Knicks fans gave them a warm welcome back as everybody was expecting them to. I'm your host, Ben Ballion, back with another episode of the Sports Pod. Today I got part 43 of the 82-part series for you. And a bittersweet return for IQ and RJ. Only bittersweet because the new-look Knicks with OG Anunoby have been hooping 9-2 since the trade and 9-2 in the new year. However, I'll get into all about this game, this 126-100 win on the other side of the intro. Hit it.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection. That ball is out of here.
All right, jumping right into the Knicks 126-100 win over the Toronto Raptors. Another win for the Knicks. I think that's 3 in a row now. 3 in a row for the New York Knicks. After dropping that game to the Magic and dropping that game to the Mavs, which it wasn't two losses in a row, but 2 losses overall. Outside of those 2 losses, we haven't lost this year. Our boys have been going crazy. OG Anunoby. Another 14 points and plus 20 in the plus-minus department. Julius Randle only 18 points, but 16 rebounds. So that's a double-double, right? And Julius didn't just want the double-double. He wanted the triple-double. 10 assists to lead the team. The 14th triple-double of his career and the first triple-double since Immanuel Quickley did it in April of last year. Pretty ironic how he did it against Quickley on his new team. It was also his 9th. It was either his 8th or 9th. I think it was his 8th triple-double as a Knick. So over what? The past 4 years, I think? Because you have this year, you have last year, you have the year they didn't make the playoffs, and you have the year they made the playoffs. That's 4 years. 3.5 really, because this year's not over yet. It's only halfway through. But, I mean, Brunson with 38 points. JB, relax. Averaging 36 since returning from his injury. Had a high of 41 against the Wizards and a low of 31 against the Houston Rockets. He's been balling, and it's been huge for us. And it shows that if Brunson goes down come playoff time, we might be cooked. But I do think that there are some teams in the NBA that if their superstar player goes down, they're less cooked than we are. Like if the Sixers lose Embiid, like they're 100% done. Like I could see a way that if Julius Randle finally shows up in the playoffs, the Knicks advance. They win. They beat any team in the East in a 7-game series, except maybe the Bucks. The Sixers, I can't see it. Embiid already is not very good in the playoffs. And then you're going to make a young Tyrese Maxey the star player on a team. He's a carbon copy of Quickley. And I'll love the Quickley. Everybody knows I love Quickley. He's not the first option on an NBA championship contending team. And that's just the facts. I wish it were otherwise, and I wish he was the number 1 option for the Knicks right now, but that's just how it is. And this was the first time, a 26-point win, that the Knicks just had a nice blowout win against the Raptors this year. I mean, 119 to 106, 136 to 130 were the other scores. But I feel like the Raptors always give us a little bit of trouble, and we can never just blow through them, even if we have a way better team. But with the Raptors, RJ Barret was making me mad. Picking up Brunson 90 feet away from the basket. He never did that once in New York. Goes to Toronto all of a sudden. He's a defensive-minded player. Like, that's just not who Barret is. We all know it. There's no hiding it. But, I mean, if that's what he's doing in Toronto, it just shows me that he cares more than he did in New York. Which I would expect going back to his hometown. His favorite team growing up was the Toronto Raptors. But to completely change his game, that upset me. Brunson still cooked him for 38 points. I mean, that's big time for JB. And tonight Brunson, he's not gonna have that hard of a defender guarding him. Probably Mikal Bridges would be my best get as the Knicks take on the Brooklyn Nets. They're crosstown rivals that really aren't rivals because we've killed them ever since KD and Kyrie have left. But yeah, I'm expecting, let's see, 10-point win, 20-point win, 25-point win, let's go 27-point win over the Brooklyn Nets. Let's see. If I predict the final score in tomorrow's episode, everybody has to subscribe. Let's go. Let's go 129-102. Knicks win in Brooklyn. With the non-existent Brooklyn fans. Keith might be there. I don't know. I know Evan Roberts from WFAN is going to be there. A Knicks season ticket holder, by the way. So he's a Net fan and he holds Knicks season tickets on the Chase Bridge. Fun fact. But let's see. Is iHeart playing tonight? Because he was questionable and they were preparing like he wasn't going to play. Isaiah Hartenstein is out tonight against the Brooklyn Nets, which I think we can survive with. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Outside of Nicholas Claxton, who isn't the biggest guy in the world, the Nets don't have. He's a 7-footer, but he's not like big, like Hartenstein is. The Nets don't have a true big man. And they run sharp. They run sharp. The Nets' other center is out in this one as well. So, looking good for the Knicks. Ben Simmons, as usual, will not be playing. But that comes as a surprise to absolutely nobody. Another Brunson 30-piece loading? Brunson 40-piece? Who knows? I would say, let's go 36 points for Brunson tonight. And if he does that, you have to comment on this video, on the next video. But another reason why I'm not so worried that Hartenstein isn't playing tonight, Precious Achiuwa showed up and showed out the other night. Revenge game for Precious. 18 points, plus 13, plus minus, 11 rebounds. A double-double for Precious Achiuwa in his first meeting against his former team. So that makes me feel confident. And I think that he's going to play with the second unit, similar to how Hartenstein did before Sims got injured and the emergence of Hartenstein. And then the emergence of Hartenstein happened when Sims went down with the ankle injury. And then the Knicks traded for Precious Achiuwa. And Hartenstein is the starter on the team now. And who knows, the Knicks might trade Robinson at the deadline. Another homegrown guy, but this one probably won't hit as much as hard, as close to home as Quickley and Barret did. But yeah, they might trade him and then put everything into signing Isaiah Hartenstein this offseason. But the thing is, they can't overpay for Hartenstein. They got to give him a normal amount of money, and that's why this emergence, similar to Quickley's emergence last year, is gonna hurt the Knicks because they're not gonna just get to pay him a couple $1,000,000 to go play, to play here like I think they are now. Hartenstein's contract is worth 2 years, $16 million bucks. And in the NBA, that's not that huge of a contract. Now, I would estimate he might get like 4 years, $45 million. That's probably, yeah, something like that. A little bit more than $8 million a year. He might even get more. He might get like $60 million for 4 years. That's kind of crazy. Over $12 million a year. The main thing is we gotta sign OG Anunoby though. He has shown that he needs to be an integral part of this team for years to come. And he said he's gonna take less to stay in New York. And wait, Anunoby's signed through next year. So we have him next year, and then he's an unrestricted free agent. I thought he was an expiring contract this year, but I guess he's not, which is even better. But he's already said that he's gonna take less money to stay in New York. Which that's huge. And I think he's like New York. Fans have already been chanting his name. And he's a big time player. He's a winner. He does everything he needs to do to win. Like Anunoby in this one, I mentioned it already. Only 20 points for him. Not his biggest game. Actually, only 14 points, but it was plus 20 in the plus minus. 7 on the glass, 1 assist. But you look at Anunoby, who had 14 points, and then you look at somebody like Karl Anthony Towns, who had 48 more points than OG Anunoby, who had 62 points last night. And he was a 0 on the plus minus. The Timberwolves were almost better when he wasn't on the court. And the coach said it after the game. He said that they played immature basketball and they were just feeding Karl Anthony Towns so he could have a high scoring night. And they paid for it. They ended up losing that game. I think they lost to the Hornets last night. I'll double check it. The Timberwolves last night, first in the East still. Yeah, they lost to the Hornets. Timberwolves lost to the Hornets. Despite Karl Anthony Towns scoring 62, which is an incredible feat. It doesn't matter how you're doing it. Like Embiid's 70-point game came on 21 free throws. He shoots so many free throws every single game. He was 21 for 23 from the line. Free throws are free. You got to knock them down. And that's what Embiid does. And that's how he scores most of his points. But yeah, Dante came out big in some spots. 17 points. Third highest on the team. Tied third highest. Really fifth. Or fourth. Really fourth. You had Brunson at the top. And then you got Randall and Precious tied for second at 18. So, however you want to say, second and third. But then you got fourth. You got Dante DiVincenzo. I would say Randall second because he had more assists. And he probably shot better. Actually, no. Precious probably shot a higher percentage. Yeah, Precious 9 for 10 from the field. Julius 7 for 13. 9 for 10 from the field is huge. And he showed the pick and roll ability that we knew he had at when we first traded for him. Like, this is a guy that we traded for pick and rolls, for rebounding, and for a little bit of three-point shooting. Some corner threes. Which I don't even know if he's taken it. Yeah, he didn't take any in this game. But it didn't matter. A block, 11 boards, and an overall huge performance from him. Josh Hart, after struggling against the Orlando Magic, not the Miami Magic. Knicks have the Heat coming up. Miami Heat coming up on Saturday. They got a tough week ahead. They got the Nets tonight, the Nuggets Thursday, and the Heat Saturday. Josh Hart, after struggling against the Orlando Magic and fans saying that they want him to be traded away, he has no offensive bag. The only thing he can do is rebound. Blah, 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 this and that. Hating on Josh Hart. He comes out. He misses the next game with a knee injury. Then he comes out, has 10 points in this one. And against the Wizards, another really good game. Is this the one that he missed? Oh, he didn't play against the Wizards. So against the Rockets, he had the really good game. Against the Rockets, Josh Hart had 10 points, 14 rebounds, and 1 assist. 14 rebounds from a guard. How do you want to trade that? Knicks fans are crazy. They want to trade everybody. It's terrible. Because Hart is one of the biggest pieces on this team. And we cannot afford to lose him. He's outside of OG Anunoby, him coming off the bench might be the biggest piece to this team, outside of obviously Brunson and Randall. McBride only 3 points in this one, 1 for 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from deep. And then looking over at the Raptors box score, you got Quickley with 12 points, but 11 assists. And that's big for the Raptors. But, I mean, for Quickley, I don't know why he isn't shooting more. He only had 8 shots in this one. Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., RJ I get, but he was tied for shots with Jonte Porter, who is the brother of Michael Bring Your Own Ball Porter Jr. No, I'm just playing. Michael Porter Jr. from the Nuggets. So is his brother the same as him? I don't know. Bruce Brown took 8 shots in his first game with the Raptors. The Knicks are eyeing him. I want Malcolm Brogdon and Jordan Clarkson. I don't know about Bruce Brown. He's not as good to me. As either of those two guys. But and after the game, he basically he wanted to come to the Knicks so bad. I think he wants to. Reporters were asking him about what he could do for the Knicks, and he was like, I'm a dog. I'm a hustle player. I can do everything that Tibbs wants. I can do anything that they need from me. Basically just saying that he wants to be a Knick, and he wants the Knicks to trade for him at the deadline. We'll see what Leon Rose does. I think he needs to make at least 1, maybe 2 moves. We saw the Terry Rozier deal going down today. Terry Rozier to the Heat for Kyle Lowry and a first-round pick. Now, people are saying that the Knicks are looking at Kyle Lowry and Gordon Hayward. Why? First off, Gordon Hayward's injury-prone. I get that he would be a good backup to... The more I think about this deal, the more I kind of like it. but I think we'd be giving up too much. I forget what the return was. That's why I didn't like it. It was because of the return that of whoever proposed the deal on social media had. But it would be that we get Gordon Hayward and Kyle Lowry and give up a couple important pieces that we cannot afford to lose. So I wouldn't be interested in that. Gordon Hayward's injury prone. He would be a nice backup for OG and Julius. And Kyle Lowry would kind of fill the gap that we have on the bench, but he's not a shot creator. And that's something we need. That's something Bruce Brown can do. And that's something that especially Malcolm Brogdon can do. I know people were talking about Kelly Olynyk for shot creation, but no, he's not at the same level as Malcolm Brogdon or Jordan Clarkson. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm your host, Ben Ballion, and that's going to do it for the Sports Pod.